There we go. Test one, test two, test one, test two. Can you hear me?
1, 2.
All right. Happy Sabbath, everybody. It's good to stand before you on the Lord's Sabbath day. Indeed. Finally. I can hang around certain people I can talk Bible with. Because you can't do it with everybody. All right. But what we're going to do is, as always, we're going to start with the reading of the law. And then we'll get into today's scriptures. So let's go ahead and turn to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus 20. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Exodus 20 and verse 1. Brother Cortland, when you get there, go ahead and read.
And God spake all these words, saying,
Uh-huh.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
That's right.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above,
Right.
or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
That's right.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That's right.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord would not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Go ahead.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the strangers that is within thy gates.
Not even the stranger. Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor,
Uh-huh.
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Appreciate that. Now let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. See if there's some consistency in regards to those same commandments. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and we're going to read verses 13 and 14. 13 and 14. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Uh-huh.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
That's right.
For this is the whole duty of man.
Uh-huh.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
That's right. And now let's go to Revelation chapter 22. Revelation 22, towards the end. And let's see what it says. Pick it up at verses 14 and 15. Revelation 22, 14 and 15. Go ahead.
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Uh-huh.
that they may have right to the tree of life,
Right.
and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Uh-huh.
For without are dogs,
Right.
and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Whosoever makes a lie and whosoever loves a lie that was made. Appreciate that. Brother Cortland. Like I said, it's good to stand before you today on the Lord's Sabbath day. My name is Brother Jared, in case you may not know. And we are here at the IOG, Washington, D.C., and we sit under Pastor Bowie at the Riverdale headquarters location. And he's been teaching for quite some time, and we are his students doing the work of God. So now what we're going to do, we're going to deal with the topic, because today's lesson is called Fraternal Twins, the swapped identities of Isaac's sons. Fraternal twins, the swapped identities of Isaac's sons. And the reason why I think this kind of really started hitting me to deal with this, because a lot of times people don't know this history. They don't even know some of the people that we're going to read about today. And we're going to take our time to kind of go through it piece by piece, because it's not just one person. We're going to walk through some lineage, because there's been a family fight, I'll say. A family fight within the household of Isaac, which is still within the household of Abraham as well. But within this family fight, we need to know that this is carrying on to this very day. So people are seeing things, but they don't know what's going on, why this happened, why that's happening. But because they don't realize that, well, this is an internal family thing. So let me let you in on some of what's been going on within the family. So that way it'll make sense why you see certain things happening in the world today. So what we're going to do, we're going to start this in Genesis 17. Because before I even bring Isaac on the scene, I need to show where Isaac comes from. So Genesis 17, we're going to pick it up at verse 1 and 2. We're going to go through some history today. We're definitely going to go through some scriptures, because if we aren't going through the Bible, we don't need to be here. But we're definitely going to open the scriptures to read those as well. History, Bible, and breakdowns. That's what we're going to be dealing with. Genesis 17, and when you get there, pick it up at verse 1. 17 and 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Go ahead.
And I will make my covenant between me and thee.
That's right.
And will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying.
But jump down to verse 5, because what's happening is Lord's dealing with he's Abram at this time. The Lord came to deal with Abram at about 75. So here we are at 99. Now the Lord's going to make this covenant with him. So apparently Abraham showed some consistency that I can now make an agreement with him, because look how consistent he is. Verse 5, go ahead.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee.
So he's getting upgraded to Abraham. Go ahead.
And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Go ahead.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations.
Right. So you see all this great work God's going to work through Abraham. But see, Abraham's been thinking this whole time, yeah, it's me, but it included the wife of his covenant. So let's see what's going to happen in verse 16. Go ahead.
For an everlasting covenant to
16?
I didn't finish that. It was in the middle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish out that verse. Go ahead.
For an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee.
Thank you, because I definitely don't want to cut that out. But go ahead now and jump to verse 16. My apologies. Go ahead.
And I will bless her,
right,
and give thee a son also of her.
Right.
Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
So now you see where she wasn't left out the picture, right? Correct. He said, no, I'm going to work through your wife, because he was already with her. And he said, I'm still working through her. It's not just Abraham, but the wife of his covenant. Go ahead, jump now to verse 18. Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto God that Ishmael might live before thee.
Right, because he was like, that might be a bit much. I got Ishmael right here. Look, he over in the other room. Why don't we work through Ishmael? That's the father of the Arabs. Go ahead.
And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed.
Right. So Abram went to Abraham. He got a name change. His wife Sarai got a name change to Sarah. He said, no, from Sarah, from her new name, it's going to come from her. Go ahead.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
And I'm going to tell you what the boy's name going to be. It's going to be a boy, and you're going to call him Isaac. That's where Isaac starts coming in the picture here. Go ahead.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant.
Right.
And with his seed after him.
You see that? So you got a whole separate branch, a lineage coming from your wife. It didn't even have nothing to do with Ishmael in this regard, because the covenant is going to be with Isaac and with his seed after him. Go ahead, give me verse 20.
And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee.
Right.
Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
You're like, okay, I still know that that's your son too. Look, I'm still going to give him some. I call that the consolation prize. The big benefit is going to go through Isaac, but look, I'm going to break off Ishmael. So Ishmael got some money too. Oh, you always go to Dubai and Saudi Arabia. They got some change, don't they?
A little bit.
There's a little some slight work. Pocket change compared to the big reward.
Right.
Pocket change. Go ahead and give me verse 21.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac. Isaac isn't even born yet, and he's talking about this guy like he's already here. It's going to be a whole nother year before Isaac is born. But he said, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac. Go ahead.
which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
In the next year. Now let's go to Genesis 25, because Isaac was born. At 8 days old, Isaac was circumcised. And Isaac turned around, and because he said, and with his seed after him, right? So that means Isaac needs to have children as well. So Abraham just found out he's going to be a grandparent even through Isaac that wasn't even born yet. So it's good to be on the Lord's team and on his side, because it isn't about just what happens right now. It's what he deals with you down the road. The Lord got long vision. So in Genesis 25, we're going to pick it up at verse 20. Now, this is one of the stories where we have to get a little bit more. We have to go through a lot of these scriptures here, because it does lay the foundation of the story, of the family story, shall I say. So, hey, why is it going on in the family? Sit down on the couch. Let me sit down and break this down for you from the beginning. This back where it started, and that's what we're doing. The beef started back here in Genesis 25 and verse 20, because Isaac had a wife. His wife's name was Rebekah. So we're going to start walking this down. Go ahead.
And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife.
So took Rebekah to wife. Go ahead.
The daughter of Bethuel the Syrian, and Panoram, the sister to Laban the Syrian.
Right.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
Right, because she was barren. She couldn't have children. So, but the prophecy was still going to be fulfilled. But what happened is Isaac prayed for his wife that she wouldn't be barren anymore. Go ahead.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
Entreated, that means the Lord heard it. Okay, I hear your prayer. Go ahead.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so.
Whoa. You see what it said in verse 22? It says she conceived, but verse 22 said the children. It didn't say the child. Children means more than one.
Right.
So within her womb is more than one child. The children within her are sparse. You know. Right. Israel always do that, especially at the bus stop. Go ahead.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
If I'm supposed to have a successful pregnancy, then why am I going through so much pain as I'm conceiving? Go ahead.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
And she did the same thing. I'm going to ask God about this, not the doctor in this situation. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
It didn't just say 2 children, because yes, it was 2 children, but these 2 children were the fathers of 2 separate nations. I gave your womb 2 nations. Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 distinct manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And one people shall be stronger than the other. Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder shall serve the younger. So that means the moment she gives birth, the first one that comes out her womb, she already knows, because God told her that that's going to serve the one that comes out next. The sequel is going to be better. Right. Now, this is right here is, like I said, twins, but these are not identical twins. He said 2 manner of people, right?
Right.
That's where fraternal twins come in. Because fraternal twins, you can have a male and then a female. That's considered fraternal twins. But you can have 2 males or 2 females, and they still be considered fraternal twins and not identical. Because identical is when they have the exact same makeup. That's not them. Same parents, but 2 manner of people. Because the Lord is making a nation right now. So the elder shall serve the younger. Go ahead and keep going. Verse 24.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
That's right. Go ahead.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
And they called his name what?
Esau.
Okay, that was just the first one. The older is named Esau. That's the elder. Go ahead.
And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. So as they pull out the first boy, they like, yo, why are you holding on to his ankle? Apparently, Jacob had a grip even in the womb because the spar was going on. You think you're going to leave me behind? Nah, I'm going to hold on. Remember, Jacob. Go ahead.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew.
Right.
And Esau was a cunning hunter,
Right.
a man of the field.
Right.
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
And so you see the distinct personalities, right?
Right.
One is a hunter. In other words, I know how to eat. But you don't have to just be a physical hunter as far as getting wild stock or game. Sometimes hunting still, because you still have to work to eat. He knows how to get money in his pocket to this day. That was a distinct, because he said two manner of people. That's one of the mannerisms. He know how to get money to this day. But the other one, it said Jacob, he was a plain man dwelling in what?
Tents.
He always at the house, chilling. What you doing, man? I'm at the crib. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm coming back to the crib, watch something. Jacob was just like chilling at the house. Go ahead.
Jacob loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
Right, because now Esau turned around, did all that hunting. He was bringing back that meat. And Isaac must have loved the meat that his older son made. Go ahead.
But Rebecca loved Jacob.
Because he was at the crib helping mom out. Mom, what you need? I got it. So, hey, two manner of people. Go ahead.
And Jacob sawed pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Now, so Jacob know how to cook now. He been hanging around his mother because his mother know how to cook. We can read that to you. So now Jacob got these cooking skills right now. And then so he making this particular pottage. And it said, and who was faint? Actually, hit verse 29 from the top.
And Jacob sawed pottage. And Esau came from the field,
right?
And he was faint.
Okay, so Esau came from the field because he missed lunch. Probably had breakfast. He just missed lunch, and he over here, I'm faint. One of the mannerisms, always exaggerating. You're gonna see a lot of exaggerating when it comes to Esau, like someone did him wrong. Go ahead.
And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage,
right?
For I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom.
That's where the name Edom comes in. We're gonna deal with those names too. So he said, he see that Jacob made this food. He like, give me some of that food. But Jacob like, let's trade. Right. Let's trade. Go ahead.
And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright."
Sell me. He didn't say give me it in his mind. He said sell me. That means it's a transaction.
Correct.
So if I say, hey, can I have them shoes? Or hey, can I buy those shoes? Different connotations.
Right.
So if I say buy, that means I'm willing to give you what you feel is worth. That is based off what you feel it's worth. If you think it's worth $100 million, then that's what you feel it's worth. If you think it's nothing but a meal, that's what you think it's worth. Go ahead.
And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die."
Go ahead.
"And what profit shall this birthright do to me?"
What profit shall this birthright do to me? That's why I go to always read all the way in Romans chapter 3. What profit is there of circumcision and of being a Jew? Much every way, because unto them are committed the oracles of God. He'll be like, well, I don't need this.
Right.
But keep going. What verse 33?
Top of 33.
And
Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him.
So swearing is an oath. So there was a transaction with the swearing on top. I don't see no stealing yet, do I? Okay, go ahead.
And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Sold his birthright unto Jacob. Go ahead.
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink.
Right. So he didn't just give him just the lentils. He gave him a side and something to wash it down with, as I say all the time. So he made a meal out of it because that's how highly Jacob esteemed that birthright. Go ahead.
And rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Esau despised his birthright. Now, the book says out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, a fact or matter established, right? So out of the book of Genesis, which Moses wrote, which God told Moses, it was a transaction. It was sold. Let's go see another witness. Hebrews chapter 12. Because people try to act like God lied. No, God told the story exactly how it went down. Moses wasn't there when it happened. So he's receiving information. God told you he sold it. And you know what the crazy part is? Rebecca isn't in on that transaction. She didn't have nothing to do with that. That was between just the boys. But Rebecca, because Lord was working through Rebecca, made sure it played out the way God called it. because he told her the answer before she even gave birth to the boys. Lord be giving some insight to the sisters. But let's go now to because imagine if Isaac was unrighteous, put away his wife. Then it would have never played out the way it should have, because only she had that insight at that time. But Hebrews chapter 12, give me verse 14. Hebrews 12 and 14. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Without that peace, no man gonna see the Lord. But give me verse 16. Go ahead.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
For one morsel of meat, he did what?
Sold his birthright.
So it didn't say his birthright was stolen, did it?
Nope.
So you got two witnesses. So we just cut down another lie. In fact, I like basic definitions of words. The definition for sell is to give up property to another for something of value. The past tense instantiation of this word is sold. So he gave it up. In football, we called it forfeiture.
Right.
He forfeited. He gave it up. So there was a transaction here. Now let's go to Genesis 27 within this family story to see what happened when it was time for the blessing. Genesis 27, because it's all in the pages of this book. You just be surprised how it connects together. So Genesis 27. Because I see some of the commentaries in some of these Bibles, it just says, he did this, Jacob did that, and it's like, we just saw the transaction took place before Isaac was even hungry, before it was time to bless anybody. But Genesis 27 and verse 1, when you get there, go ahead and read.
And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim,
right,
so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am.
Right. So he didn't call the whole family. He just called it Esau. Esau, come here. If the time has come. But I want you to give me something to eat first before you turn around. Because we like that venison.
Right.
Go ahead and make me some more of that venison again, boy, and I'm about to bless you. But see, it said that his eyes were set for age, right? That means Isaac had his faculties, but he didn't have his vision. So without the vision, he's trying to discern without one of the things that God works through you. It's called, the book calls them your windows. So go ahead, keep going. What verse we at?
Top of 2.
Go ahead.
And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death.
Now
therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, and make me savory meat such as I love,
right,
and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may be blessed thee before I die.
Oh no, Pops, don't worry about that. Look, you need to call Jake, because I really sold it to Jacob, so you can give it to him because it was already a transaction. Did Esau say any of that?
Nah.
He like, bet. Grab my bone there, I'm out. He gonna eat good today. Go ahead. What verse we have?
Top of 5.
Go ahead.
And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
Ooh, Rebekah has she could hear very well. I don't know how thin the walls were, but Rebekah heard all that. So go ahead. What happened after that? After Rebekah heard that?
And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death.
Right.
Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee.
So she said, I'm commanding you, obey my voice. This isn't Jacob scheming. Go ahead.
Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats,
right,
and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. So
who did the cooking with this one? Jacob could cook, but she did the cooking.
Right.
She knew all the toppings and the garnishments and everything, how he liked it for real, so much so that it's about to bless the right person. Go ahead.
And thou shalt bring it to thy father that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing.
Right. In other words, he didn't want to go through with it. It was his mother that wanted to go through with it because it was God's plan to go through with it. Go ahead.
And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice.
Obey my voice. Go ahead.
And go fetch me them. And when he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat such as his father loved, and Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest sons Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
So she went into Esau's closet and got the best outfit. Go ahead.
And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob.
There it is. So she prepared it and put it in Jacob's hand. Now jump down to verse 25. Verse 25. Go ahead, because this is where he goes before Isaac. You know who he could hear, but he just couldn't see. Go ahead.
And he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee." And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine and drink.
Go ahead.
And his father Isaac said unto him, "Come near now and kiss me, my son." And he came near and kissed him.
Because in other words, he just like gave him an embrace. But what's happening here is he's like, that voice sounds like Jacob, but everything else seemed like Esau. So he's just trying to verify through the scent of smell. Go ahead.
And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, God, give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine.
Go ahead.
Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee.
Right.
Be Lord over the brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Go ahead.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee."
That was it. 28 and 29, that was all the whole blessing within that verse. It's just that it's more than just words. It actually is going to come to pass. So go ahead and give me verse 30 as well. Because soon as he got done, he blessing him. Jacob turned around faking like he Esau walking out and everything. Done. Mission accomplished. Verse 30, go ahead.
And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing, Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father,
right?
That Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
And here he come all confident. Verse 31.
And he said, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, "Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may be blessed."
Verse 32, what Isaac gonna say? Because Isaac over here got the toothpick in his mouth, like, that show was good. With all the fixings. Who made that sauce? And someone else talking about, "Father, I'm home. I have brought the venison that thy soul may bless me." Who? Go ahead.
And Isaac his father said unto him, "Who art thou?"
Right.
And he said, "I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau."
See, he confident. I'm your son. I'm the firstborn. You real extra right now. Go ahead.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly.
Right.
And said, "Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed."
And he shall be blessed. So who's this coming in? Because I already ate the food. I ate every last drop. I drank the wine. And then I turn around and bless him, and he shall be blessed. It's already it's set in stone. So that's why he started trembling, because he's like, I hope I didn't drop the ball of the blessing that was given to my father Abraham to make sure it goes to the right person.
Right.
It still went to his lineage, it didn't go to the son that he thought it should go to. But it still went to the lineage of Isaac. Y'all see that? So that's in the 33, right? Go ahead, give me verse 38. Verse 38, go ahead.
And Esau said unto unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Right.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Nowhere did he ever admit to his mother or his father of what happened back in Genesis 25 concerning the transaction, what he sold. It was not mentioned, so he thought he was going to get the blessing by deception, and you can't fool God. So it didn't. So it's not going to happen. However, he is going to get this blessing, though. Go ahead and give me verse 39. Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
So you are going to live by always fighting and waging war against somebody. By the sword shall you live. Go ahead.
And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
But it was already actually here. You will have to serve your brother, because remember, God told Rebekah the elders shall serve the younger, right? So now we saw how that played out. So it was confirmed even by Jacob that you shall serve your brother, and it shall come to pass when you shall get some reign or the dominion, you shall break his yoke from off your neck. But that's not talking about Esau specifically. He's talking his lineage. What's going to happen through the lineage? At some point, they're going to break away and start trying to do their own thing. But that's all here in the blessings, right? Oh, give me verse 41 for good measure. Because he's still, he's upset at himself, but he's trying to take it out on Jacob. 41.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
That's it. So from that point on, now there was about to be a family fight where someone's going to try to murder someone else in the family. Like I said, this is a family story, and you have to know these details. So Rebekah worked it out to where Jacob ends up going to live with her brother, which was Jacob's uncle, Laban, and he ended up getting a wife from over there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to Genesis 32, because I'm trying to deal with after he has left Laban and headed back home. Has there been enough time? Because it was God that told him it was time for you to go home. Because he was like, man, someone hunting for me. I'm going to stay over here. Then you saw what happened with Moses. Moses had Pharaoh trying to get him. He left Egypt. And then now he was trying to hang out over in Midian until God spoke to him through that burning bush. Time for you to go back. But that's what happened here. So on his way back, and he has all these children, and he separates them. He's sending gifts and everything towards Esau, like, I hope he still ain't that hot. I hope he's not that upset at me. But Genesis 32, and pick it up at verse 9. Go ahead.
And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saideth unto me, return to thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. Because
he's praying to God now. He's like, listen, I don't have nothing else to go on now. Lord, I'm getting ready to run into my brother. You told me to go here. You told me you deal well with me. You sustained me all this other time. I'm praying to you at this time. Go ahead. What verse we at?
We finished 9.
Okay, give me verse 11. Go ahead.
Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For I fear him, lest he will come and smite me and the mother with the children.
Right. I think he may try to kill me and all the people that I have with me at this time. But jump down to verse 24, because he had sent them in waves ahead of him until it was just he himself. You know how they say, me, myself, and I, but he wasn't by himself. 24, what happened? Go ahead.
And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the break of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
Why is he in this situation? If I want to be delivered, just block the adversary. Lord is showing, watch this. I'm going to have you wrestling all night. So all your new clothes you had and everything you got from Laban, it's not going to look like you've been doing well all this time. You're going to look like you've been beat up, like you've been roughed up, like life been hard, and I'm about to knock your hip out of place. So when he see you, he was like, I thought the bless was supposed to have you all set up in a big shot. But you over here, disheveled, hair messed up, because you've been wrestling with an angel all night. Lord knows what he's doing. Go ahead.
And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh.
Angel trying to get away. Go ahead.
And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
Right. Now we know Jacob got that grip because he caught Esau's heel, right? So now here's the angel like, hey, you let me go. Whatever he's supposed to say, got some strong hands, but he had that grip.
Right.
Go ahead.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Jacob, go ahead.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
No more Jacob, go ahead.
But Israel. For as a prince has thy power with God and with men, and has prevailed.
For as a prince, thou hast power with God and with man. Because see, when you wait on the Lord, when Laban was taking advantage of the situation, he just waited on the Lord. Let the Lord take. He didn't try to get vengeance on his own for anything. So the Lord kept on working through him, and that was the point where he was adopted. When he received the name Israel after being Jacob, that was the point that he was adopted by God because Israel is God's name. When Jacob was adopted and given the name Israel, Esau was nowhere around this situation. Remember that. So the blessing, a portion of the blessing in regards to getting adopted by God happened right before he met him, but he just got blessed, but he looking the worst. Headed back to his brother, can't even walk right.
Right.
But he blessed. Because man don't see, man look how you are versus how God sees things. He sees things differently, right? Is that the end of verse 28?
That's the end of 28.
Perfect. So now turn to Numbers chapter 20 real quick. Numbers 20. But see, what happened is they reconciled whatever, they were glad to see each other. Everything was cool. There wasn't like anything as far as between them two specifically, but the beef carried out through their lineage. That's where the story gets interesting. Because Rebecca was told, two nations and two men or people are in thy womb. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dealing with some names here. So here on the board, I'm going to point out something concerning the biblical names concerning Jacob. Sometimes there's different names that cover the nation of Israel and throughout prophecies in different parts of the book. So obviously, sometimes they call Jacob, like in Isaiah 49. Then there's Israel. Sometimes you hear Ephraim. Sometimes you hear Judah, because sometimes it says northern or southern. Jeshurun, also like in Deuteronomy 32, means Israel. Mount Zion, because that was the location. And Jerusalem, sometimes he calls people by their location. So these are so as you go through the book, just know that sometimes when you run across this, you're still talking about Jacob and his descendants. However, his twin brother has some names too. So let's go take a look at some of his names. You have the name Esau, which was the progenitor of all of them, but his name also was called Edom. That name still continued through his lineage. They were just called Edomites. Then you had Idumea. That's the Greek way of saying Edom. Then you have Amalek. Amalek was one of the descendants of Esau, but that was another nickname that was placed on some of them as well. Just like you saw how Ephraim was a descendant of Abraham or of Jacob, rather. Same thing. Bozrah was their headquarter location. That was their capital city. But just like Israel was called Mount Zion, they were sometimes called Mount Seir. That was their capital location. And then Herod, that's another nickname that was placed upon them. And we'll see that, especially when you hit the New Testament. That's when you see these names come out. So between these two, we will understand who's who, because the Lord knows you. The Lord don't have to ask who you are. But what happens is he's going to start pointing out who he's talking about throughout prophecy. So we see that. So now the family tree, simplified, goes from Abram the Hebrew, because that's what Abram was called. So then he had Ishmael first, then he had Isaac, which we saw that in Genesis 17. Then Isaac had Esau first, and then he had Jacob, because they were born on the same day, but they were born at different times. The older one is Esau. And the children of Esau is now known as the Edomites. And the children of Jacob, or the children of Israel, are called the Israelites. They call themselves Hebrew because they are descendants of Abraham. Hebrew Israelites. because you have Hebrew Ishmaelites, that's the Arabs. You also have Hebrew Edomites. So these people are actually Hebrew. They are actually Shemitic. Arabs are Shemitic. Israel is Shemitic, and the Edomites are Shemitic. This is a family fight. So you have to know what's going on in the family. We got that. Like I said, I'm keeping it real simple, high level. I like covering basics, you know. So now in Numbers chapter 20, we're going to drop down to verse 20. Numbers 20 and verse 20. Because we need to make sure that we get the family story correct. It's just that the family story is playing out to this very day. Numbers 20 and verse 20. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand.
So when the children of Israel was leaving Egypt, they're like, hey, Edom, can we go through your land? We just got done with over 400 years of being captives in Egypt. We was abused and oppressed and everything. Can I just go through your neighborhood? I won't even touch nothing. I won't drink none of your water. I won't eat none of your food. Can I just walk through? And here go Edom. No, heck no. Y'all better not come around here or we're going to deal with y'all. That's how they responded to us coming out of captivity. Now, remember, the Lord got a long memory. Remember that. Go ahead.
Thus, Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him.
Right. So they gonna block the road. Nah, you ain't coming through here. So what is this, gang wars? Saying, no, you can't come on this block, not on this side. This is my side of town. Go ahead, give me verse 22.
And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor.
But now let's go to Exodus 17. Because what I need to do is I need to walk down some of the history of these interactions. Some people will may not know or may not connect the dots. And there's certain people that they don't know comes from a particular family tree. And it kind of sheds some light on this. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to shed some light. Exodus 17. And go ahead and give me verse 8. Exodus 17 and verse 8. We need to continue following these brothers or the descendants of these brothers. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
So remember I showed y'all one of those names? Amalek is one of Esau's names. So now not only did they block them, but they said, we're going to try to come kill some of these slaves that left Egypt because of the beef from beforehand. Go ahead. That's in verse 8.
That's in 8.
Give me verse 13.
And Joshua discomfited Amalek.
That means Joshua and fought, that's war. He fought against them. In other words, Joshua and the Israelites were winning the war. Go ahead.
And his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses.
Now, this is when the Lord be stepping in, pay close attention. He went in this battle right here, but watch what the Lord step in and say. Go ahead.
Write this for a memorial in a book.
Write this for a memorial in a book. Go ahead.
And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
He said, I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. I'm going to wipe them clean out. That's what God said. Give me verse 16.
For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
He said, because y'all did that, I'm going to fight against y'all from generation to generation to generation. The Lord stepped in the ring just because of how they did this, because we're going to see some of the details about what happened here. But go to Deuteronomy 23. Because what we're to do at the Israel guys is explain the Bible. I can't turn around and start telling you how to feel about a particular person. I can't. That's above my pay grade. But we're gonna read what the law says concerning our brother Edom. Deuteronomy 23 and verse 7. 23 and verse 7. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
So in the law it says, you shall not abhor. That means hate. An Edomite. Go ahead.
For he is thy brother.
Because he is your what?
Brother.
Even your fraternal twin brother. Not just any, but he is your brother. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian,
Uh-huh.
because thou was a stranger in his land.
And you can't even hate an Egyptian. So what we're seeing is we're seeing emotional regulation. So you can point out the facts of what happened, but you can understand that the hand of God was operating. But today, I just need to make sure I'm in line with God today. I can't change the past. No one can change the past, but I can change what happens from here on and then how I walk in the future. That's all that comes down to. But as we're walking down this history, people try to say, well, are you expressing hate? No, I'm expressing history. I'm expressing biblical verses. Emotions have nothing to do with information.
Right.
So I'm just showing, I'm showing through the scriptures. No, we just walking down some facts. But so the people that got blessed, which was Jacob, which was the children of Israel, they still had terms of a contract, right?
Right.
Can we please turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28? So in the same book, just go over to 28, because they were pretty much giving, they were given that blessing. However, there's terms and there's conditions within this blessing. So let's see what it requires, or let's see the punishment or the penal clause of breaking the rules, the regulation of that blessing. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. 28 and 15. When you get there, go ahead and read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses shall overtake you if you do not obey. We're going to pick out a handful of these curses. We're going to start with verse 25, because if God said it, then it's airtight. It's just a matter of us pointing out some of these, and then we're going to ask some questions. Verse 25, go ahead.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them,
right,
and flee 7 ways before them.
So you aren't going to win the military battles, he's saying. Go ahead.
And shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
And then it says it shall be removed into all the kingdoms. So this doesn't mean you're fleeing. This means you're actually being relocated by somebody else. But it says into all the kingdoms of the earth. At this time, there were certain parts of the earth that they probably hadn't even explored yet. But don't worry, we're going to get there. We're going to find a way. Airplane, boat, automobile, train. We're going to find a way there, because prophecy got to be fulfilled. So now go ahead and give me verse 37. Jump down to verse 37. Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
In all the nations, when you get there, there will be, this is saying if they broke that covenant, they would turn around and have various nicknames placed upon them. Different names other than what they had when they were children. That's what they say. They called me everything under the sun except a child of God. All those nicknames, proverbs, and bywords will now be associated with you if you break the covenant. Now go ahead and give me verse 41. Go ahead.
Thou shalt begot sons and daughters.
So you shall have sons and daughters. Go ahead.
But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Sometimes they would sell off the children of the people that was in chattel slavery, but today the captivity is just called prison. So then they turn around and then they put them in the prison houses, and they are considered, even by the U.S. Constitution or the amendments rather, actual slave. That is the one time where that still is enacted. So a lot of our sons and daughters will find themselves in that penal institution. Now jump down to verse 43. Go ahead.
The stranger that is within thy gates. I'm sorry. The stranger that is with thee shall get up above thy very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So the stranger that's within thee, in other words, that lives amongst you, Israel, they can be elevating in authority and in power and in prominence, and we will be decreasing. Go ahead. He shall lend to thee. He shall lend to thee. Go ahead. And thou shalt not lend to him. So according to the Bible, it says that if these curses were to fall on Israel, one of the markers that identifies them is they are not the one giving out the loans. They're the ones receiving the loans. Do y'all see? Make sure y'all remember this stuff, because we're going to hit some details a little bit later, and we're going to hit some big time history. So now that we hit verse 44, right? Finish it out. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
And 46, go ahead.
And thou shalt be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So this will help to identify, because that's what a sign does. A sign is another way of saying signal. It will signify who this is. So all these curses will be a sign upon thee forever. But in other words, until the Lord changes it. But let's go now to verse 48. Go ahead.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And they're going to put a yoke of iron on your neck. So these are all very distinct features that you're going to see upon one set group of people. Not in one location, but all over in different locations with the same distinct markers. Now go ahead and give me verse 64. Verse 64, like I said, we're just grabbing a handful of these because I need to ask some critical analysis questions about what's going on today. So verse 64, go ahead.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Scatter, it's like you being sprinkled amongst everyone. Go ahead.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, either wood or stone.
Right.
And among these nations shall thy find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and the sorrow of mind.
This is all stuff that we did not want, but we obtained it from disobedience. But go ahead, verse 66.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night.
Right.
And shall have none assurance of thy life.
And jump down to verse 68 for good measure, because he left the cherry on top. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies,
right,
for bondmen and bondwomen.
So, finish it out.
And no man shall buy you.
So in other words, he said you should be removed from all the kings of the earth. But that removal also came with the transaction. So after you were removed, when you get to the place that you were brought to, then a transaction took place. You were sold as bondmen and bondwomen, slave man, slave woman. But this is all the things that was placed upon Israel, aka Jacob, right?
Correct.
I just want to make sure that we lined up to see who's going to receive that, because sometimes the punishment helps with the identity.
Right.
And that's what we need to do. Continue walking down this identity for a reason. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 32, because not only are they going to be relocated to another location, and then also in a particular servitude and be transacted for, the Lord's going to take something back from out their mind when they get there. Deuteronomy 32 and 15. 32 and 15, when you get there, go ahead and read.
But Jeshurun waxed fat.
That's Israel again. Wax fat. Go ahead.
And kick. Thou art waxing fat. Thou art grown thick.
Right.
Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
In other words, when Israel as a nation was doing so well, we started kicking against God and trying to do our own program, right? Jeshurun waxed fat. Like I said, we would say you got too big for your britches. That's what we would say today. But jump down to verse 25. Go ahead. Because this is also some of the punishment that's going to come from this. 25.
The sword without.
The sword, people outside of your nation, go ahead.
And terror within.
And people within your nation are going to terrorize it. Go ahead.
Shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs.
Right. It's like everyone fighting everyone. That's why it blew my mind when I heard this past week that a mother was just with her child, trying to protect her child from being bullied. They turn around and start attacking the mother. Terror within the community. And that's not just outside. I can't just say y'all on the outside. We got some in-house cleaning to do as well, as we can see. But that was one of these signs. Go ahead. Verse 26.
I said, I will scatter them into corners.
He said that now that's the removal. That's your geographic location. I'm going to scatter you into corners. Go ahead.
I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
But he said, I'm going to make the remembrance of who these people actually are to cease from among men. That's the removing of the identity on your way out. But that's prophecy. But all I know is when I, like I said, that story, when I heard about them kids attacking the mother and the child and the younger sibling, I said, see, back when Alicia was walking around and they was go up bald head, they talking mess to their elders, right?
Right.
Them she-bears came out and killed a whole lot of them for not showing respect to your ancestors. The book says, rise up before the hoary head. You on the bus, someone older need to take a seat, get up, give me your seat. That's showing respect. But this things that's honorable within the nation. But right now, it's chaos for a little bit longer, a little bit. But now let's go to Judges chapter 6. Because I have to take a quick break to go show you some things pertaining to the curses of Israel. Now I can go back to the family fight to show what continues on. Judges chapter 6. Judges 6, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2. Judges 6 and verse 2. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown.
So you know how you sow to get a crop, right?
Right.
So when they plant their crops to try to go eat, then out of nowhere, the Midianites and others, which we'll see, start tearing up their crops and taking it from them, and taking their cattle and everything because they had started rebelling against God. Go ahead.
That the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and
the Amalekites. So you always gotta make sure don't let them slip below the radar. No, they're part of it too, because they still mad about that blessing. So it said, and the Amalekites with the Midianites. Go ahead.
And the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till thou came unto Gaza and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass.
So you thought that was happening in Gaza, something new? That's been happening when we were in Gaza. They turned around and took down all your crops and your livestock, and they was waiting for your crop to come up to go tear it up and remove it from you. But now jump to all the way to verse 33. All the way to verse 33. Because this was a constant thing. So now at another time, they swelling up and get ready to come against Israel again. In verse 33. I just want to make sure y'all see who's doing it. Go ahead.
Then all the Midianites and
Amalekites, go ahead.
And the children of the east were gathered together and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel.
In the valley of Jezreel. You know what the valley of Jezreel is? The valley of Megiddo. That's what that valley is. The valley of Jehoshaphat. So they've been over there trying to cause oppression, but I have to show the consistency. It's just that the Lord is working through Gideon at this time to help him in this instance, but I need to continue showing who the same suspect is. Let's go further. Let's go to 1 Samuel 15. 1 Samuel chapter 15. Because that's before we had a king, right? We didn't have a king. Then we turned around and fired God, and then turned around and asked to make someone else a king. So we got that. So now we have Saul, but we still have the same problems. 1 Samuel 15 and verse 1. 15 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
I told you God don't forget. It's been a long time since they came out of Egypt, right? He said, I remember what Amalek did unto Israel. But he's going to tell us some more information on what happened that we didn't read back then. Go ahead.
how he laid wait for him.
So he laid wait. They was like plotting on Israel. Go ahead.
When he came up from Egypt.
Uh-huh.
Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and women, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
He said, now I want you to kill everything that pertains to Amalek. Saul had one job to do. The first thing he does, he starts letting the Kenites say, hey, y'all was cool with us, so you could go. How did you know that the Kenites didn't have some of the Amalekites with them if they were so close? Drop the ball right there, and I'm going to show you why. Go, what verse you at? That's in the verse.
In 3.
Give me verse 7. Verse 7. Go ahead.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur. That is over against Egypt.
That's right. In verse 8, go ahead.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But
so you see how he kept him alive, right? Which you didn't need to do. So you're going to save the king of them as well when he said slay everything. But now jump all the way down to verse 33 again. Verse 33 again. Because you want a job done, sometimes you got to do it yourself. So he turned around, and because Samuel gave the commandment to Saul on behalf of God. Saul didn't do it, so what did Samuel have to do? Verse 33, go ahead.
And Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
So before everyone, he's just watching him chop him in pieces because he's doing the makeup work that Saul left undone. But you know what's interesting? Turn to 1 Samuel 22. Because, like I said, Amalek is one of the descendants of Edom. But look who was in the crew of King Saul the whole time. 1 Samuel 22 and verse 7. And by this time, Saul is starting to lose his marbles. He's panicking, worrying about everything pertaining to David. Because the Lord started like, hey, you ain't even following through with my commandment. I'm about to sit you down and get someone else in your spot. So what happened here in 1 Samuel 22, we're going to pick it up at verse 7, and this is around the time when David is fleeing, because he kind of started to catch on, like this dude's starting to go a little crazy. Like all of a sudden, I'm the enemy now. So let's see what's happening in verse 7. Go ahead.
Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make ye all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds? You see
that's how you can tell he lost it. Everything's about physical possessions and what you gain and increase by taking care of the Lord's business. So he's like, because remember, Saul's from the house of Benjamin, David is from Judah. So he's asking all the Benjamites, his near kinfolk, if someone from another tribe is going to benefit you financially. His mind gone. But go ahead.
That all of you have conspired against me.
Now y'all plot against me. Go ahead.
And there is none that showeth me that my son have made a league with the sons of Jesse.
And no one told me that my son Jonathan is now being cool with David. Go ahead.
And there is none of you that is sorry for me.
And nobody's sorry for me. It's like you hear these same tones. Go ahead.
Or show up unto me that my son have stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as at this day.
Now, who gonna talk first in verse 9? Go ahead.
Then answered Doeg the Edomite.
Hold on. So he part of the crew. In fact, he had a high position in Saul's kingdom too. He was like the head of all the shepherds. Then answered Doeg the Edomite. There go the fraternal twin. Go ahead.
Which was set over the servants of Saul.
Who's in charge of the servants of Saul? Go ahead.
And said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Amalek, the son of
Ahimelech.
Amalek, the son of Ahitub. And he inquired of the Lord for him and gave him victuals and gave him the sword of Goliath, the Philistine.
So someone else been helping David. because now he want to be the super snitch. Someone else been helping David. Yeah, he gave him victuals. He gave him this. He even gave him Goliath's sword, which was a sign that the Lord was with David anyways, because he cut on Goliath's head with that same sword that Saul and his whole army couldn't do a thing against. But now, all of a sudden, he's the enemy. So that's what happened here. That's what he said here. Give me verse 11. All right, hold on. Where we at?
We just finished 10.
Okay, yeah, give me 11. I'm right. Go ahead.
Then the king sent to call Amalek the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house.
So he said, summon them here. Bring me Ahimelech and all the other priests. These are Levitical priests. Go ahead.
The priests that were in Nob, and they came all of them to the king.
All these holy Levitical priests come to the king. Go ahead. Jump down to verse 16 though. Verse 16, because he pretty much Saul thought that they was plotting against him too. They had nothing to do with anything. They trying to help someone that's hungry. Verse 16.
And the king said, thou shalt surely die, Ahimelech, thou and all the father's house.
So hold up. You called the Levitical priest. Now the king will say, you about to die. All of y'all about to die. Go ahead.
And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, turn and slay the priests of the Lord, because their hand also is with David.
So you know how you got this, like the soldier by the door that's on guard, and the king say, you kill the Levitical priest right here. Dude, like, nah, what? Huh? What he said? What do you want us to do? So they hesitate. They ain't doing it. They keeping they sword sheath, right?
Right.
It's probably be on the waist. I don't know why I got it like this in a jacket. They didn't have blades back then, so it was on the waist. They didn't want to go come at him with the sword, right? So they chilling. But go ahead. What happened?
And because they knew when he fled and did not show it to me, but the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priest of the Lord.
I ain't going that far. Go ahead.
And the king said to Doeg,
but the Edomite that was nearby, I've been waiting on this opportunity. The Edomite was the one that said, I'll kill the priest. Go ahead.
Turn down and fall upon the priest. And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priest and slew one that day 85 persons.
85 Levitical priests without fear. Go ahead.
That did wear a linen ephod.
And they were wearing the linen ephod from the temple. Doeg the Edomite. This is a family fight. Yeah. People can't forget that. Let's go now to 1 Samuel chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30. Because remember, Saul didn't take care of the business he was supposed to take care of, right? So the Amalekites, they weren't all killed. So now it's going to cause problems. Anytime you don't obey God, it causes problems. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 1. Pay close attention to this. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag and smitten Ziklag and burnt it with fire.
Right, Ziklag is a city. So they coming back from a war, and David and his soldiers come back and realize, yo, our town is taken down that had our women and children. Go ahead. But it said the Amalekites came and did that, right? I want to make sure we saw that in verse 1. All right, now verse 2. Go ahead.
And had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way.
Now that's encouraging. The Amalekites came, but they didn't kill nobody. They just relocating them or something, like taking them captive, but they didn't do nothing. Verse 3, go ahead.
So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives.
Now, that would have been possible if Saul had did his job, right?
Right.
Because the Amalekites would have been dead and wiped out, because God remembered what they did to Israel when they came out of Egypt. But because you left it undone, now it's going to fester and spread. Now it's taking down other cities because you didn't follow through and do what you needed to do. That's in verse 4.
No, that's in the 3.
Okay, give me 4 as well. Go ahead.
Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep.
Right. You know how you cry till you out of tears? That's what the situation they was in. And they were soldiers of war. Soldiers of war crying till I can't cry no more. But give me verse 6. Because now when soldiers get that upset, somebody they about to find someone dependent on. Verse 6.
And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him because
now they said we need to take David out. That's how distressed it is. They're not thinking right. Now we should kill David. Everything was cool a moment ago when he's valiant with the victories, but as soon as they hit that household of yours, all of a sudden watch that behavior change. Go ahead.
Because the souls of all the people was grieved, every man for his son and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord, his God.
Right, and that's always a good mindset to have. It's not over till it's over. I'm going to holler at God about this, and he did, and David recovered everything. And they got some additional goods or spoil from that on top of that. So don't overreact sometimes to the Lord's has, because the Lord always has the last laugh. But now let's go to 1 Kings 11. Because remember, David he had several sons. I think he had like over 16 sons. And he had daughters outside of that. But David had a son that sat on his throne. His name was Solomon. So let's see what King Solomon does, and let's see if you could find that one relative nearby. 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Daughter of Pharaoh, go ahead.
Women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites,
go ahead.
Sidonians, and Hittites.
So there go the Edomites in King Solomon's house, still around. Go ahead and jump down to verse 4, though. Go ahead. And let's see what they did surreptitiously. Go ahead.
For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord, his God, as was the heart of David, his father.
So that they slowly started working on him. Next thing you know, Edom, Moab, the Zidonians, they started having them fall back into paganism. Go ahead. Verse 5.
For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
There it is. So because he did that, see, and this is where, like I said, I hope that people can see it throughout the story of this lesson, is that the Lord has a special pit bull he gonna call on you, that when you don't do right, he gonna loose him out the gate. So he loosed 3 different ones on Solomon. But I just want to focus on verse 14. What did he do when that happened? Let's see what happened in verse 14. Go ahead.
And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite.
The Lord stirred up the Edomite. The Lord stirred up an adversary, Hadad the Edomite. But he had him somewhere that you have no idea about. That's why when you go against God, sometimes it catches you off guard. Where did this come from? Right. I got the good and I got the bad side. Go ahead.
He was of the king's seed in Edom.
And he was of the king's seed in Edom. But go ahead, keep going. Verse 15.
For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was going up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male in Edom.
Man, when David was around, he said, I'm trying to take down every male in Edom. Go ahead.
For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom.
It's just that they had fled away with Hadad and took him down into Egypt. And he had a whole lot of favor with Pharaoh in Egypt, but he was stirred up to go back and try to resurrect his father's lineage, shall I say. But that's what happened here. So the Lord let him loose. Now that that's in the verse 17. Where we at? We need
Top of 17.
Yeah, hit 17. Hit 17. My bad.
That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child.
There it is right there. So the Lord raised up. So you thought it was all done. Nah, the Lord will bring something up out of nowhere. You like, I thought we got rid of all of it. Now let's go to 2 Chronicles 21. 2 Chronicles 21. So it wasn't just there in the days of Saul. It wasn't there in the days of Gideon when we had judges. It was around with King David. They around with Solomon. They took down the priests in the days of Saul. I still can't get my head around that. But 2 Chronicles 21 and verse 5, we're going to see some more. 21 and 5. When you get there, go ahead and read.
When Jehoram was 32 years old, he began to reign.
Jehoram, so this is the king of Israel. His story really disappoints me, but he's now reigning. The ball's in his court, and he is now going against God. This is the one that even the prophet Elijah had to write a letter to about his behavior. Go ahead.
And he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, like as did the house of Ahab, for he had the daughter of Ahab to wife, and he wrought that which was evil in the eyes of the Lord.
That's a lie. But go ahead and jump down to verse 8. Verse 8. Go ahead.
In his days,
what?
The Edomites revolted from under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king.
There it is. They started rebelling some more and more. Because remember, the day's going to come when the yoke is going to be broken off of Edom's neck, and they shall have a time of dominion. But so they revolted and made themselves a king. Verse 9.
Then Jehoram went forth with his princes and all his chariots with him, and he rose up by the night and smote the Edomites which compassed him in, and the captains of the chariots.
And verse 10, go ahead.
So the Edomites revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day.
So the Edomites revolted from under the hand of Judah until what?
This day.
Unto this very day. There was a time where they were almost like tributaries to the kingdom, but now we're seeing, hey, they're always trying to kick. Sometimes it's like subdued, and sometimes it gets raised up again. But if you don't know who they are, where they're at today, you don't know who you're fighting against. In fact, if you don't know who you are yourself, then how can you know the people that have a beef with you in the first place? But that's where we're doing this, going back and hitting the basics. We have to know who's who. And I'm going to show you how to get around some of the confusion. So that's the end of verse 10, right?
Middle of 10.
Oh, finish it out. Go ahead.
The same time also did Libnah revolt from under his hand, because he had forsaken the Lord God of his fathers.
So, like I said, the Lord be raising up adversaries. But now go to Esther chapter 3, because under the King Solomon, from Saul to Solomon, it was one monolithic empire. It was the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. But then after Solomon, the kingdom was split. Rehoboam went to rule Judah. Jeroboam ruled the northern tribes in Israel, right? But then it started getting to the point where Israel, the northern kingdom, was taken into slavery. Then the southern kingdom was taken into slavery by Nebuchadnezzar. After that happened, then it was going from, like, Judah was being passed from empire to empire. So after the Nebuchadnezzar empire, it was passed to the Medo-Persian empire. That's where we pick up this story in Esther. So, but we need to see who's here while we're in the Medo-Persian captivity of Judah.
Right.
Esther chapter 3 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
After these things did the king Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did he reverence.
Right. In other words, he wasn't like doing all that extra bowing and reverencing this individual. But in case you didn't catch it in verse 1, Haman is the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, which means he is of the descendant of King Agag that Samuel hacked in pieces. This is Edom that you're dealing with. So while we were in slavery, who was a big shot in Medo-Persia? Edom. Running around with the rulers of Edom. And now that Mordecai not bowing down to him, because see, he knew who Mordecai was, and he know who the people of Mordecai was. And that beef is still there. The Agagite. Well, are we at verse 3?
Yes.
Go ahead.
3.
Yep, go ahead. Hit verse 3 from the top.
Then the king's servants, which were the kings in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Right. What? They didn't ask Mordecai, why ain't you bowing to him when he come through? Because we know who that is, and I ain't bowing to no man, especially not my twin brother, when I'm the one that has the birthright. Jump down to verse 5. Go ahead, because here come Haman. Go ahead.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
So Haman come through, everyone else bowing, all these other Jews bowing. Mordecai look at him eye to eye. You know how we do that upper lip, right? He was full of wrath. Ooh. I'm gonna make some policy. I'm gonna go holler at the politicians and get something done because he won't bow to me.
Right.
That's what happened. So go ahead and give me verse 6. Go ahead.
And he thought going to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. So
first it was, I want to deal with him. No, forget that. Scrap that. I'm gonna go even bigger than just him. I'm gonna go deal with everyone that's connected to him. Go ahead.
Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews.
I'm gonna destroy all the Jews. Go ahead.
That were throughout the whole kingdom.
In the whole kingdom. Go ahead.
Of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
Even the people of Mordecai. So verse 11, go ahead, because the king's like, hey, like I said, he had favor with the king. King like, hey, you do your thing, you cool in my kingdom. I gave you some autonomy to make some decisions. And so we're going to see what happens in verse 11. Go ahead.
And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee. The people also,
go ahead.
To do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
Right. That was music to his ears. To do good as it seems to me, the Edomite. Jump down to verse 13. Go ahead.
And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews.
So he put it in a policy. I'm putting a letter, I'm putting a policy, and I'm gonna send it to everyone, the post office that they had back then. Send it to everyone that we need to kill, destroy, and wipe away all Jews in this kingdom. Go ahead.
And to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day.
In one day. Go ahead.
Even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoils of them for prey.
What do you mean take the spoil? And take all their possessions. After we kill them, we get their big screen TVs. We get the gold chains. We get the watches. We get the garments. We get everything that they have. So that's going to go in my treasury after I wipe them out completely. So that's where he's at. But go ahead and jump down to verse 14. Go ahead.
The copy of the writings for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day.
In other words, everyone get all the armaments necessary, get all the weapons, all the swords, all the spears, all the shields, because it's going to be a bloody day, and I'm going to wipe out the Jews. That's what the Edomites were thinking. Go ahead, verse 15.
The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandments.
So hurry up, get this commandment out immediately. Go ahead.
And the decree was given in Shushan, the palace.
And
the king and Haman sat down to drink.
And while the news is going out throughout all the provinces that we need to destroy all those Jews that lived in the kingdom, the people of Mordecai, he over here having a drink with the king because he think he a big shot. Go ahead.
But the city Shushan was perplexed.
Right, because they are like, what is going on? Like I said, the Lord turned it around, but I need to show you consistently through this whole story who keeps showing up and moving against Israel. Edom. So you have to know what an Agagite is to connect him correctly. So what is it like? Is this guy just on a power trip? No, this is the family battle continuing. Let's go now to because they said, well, Jerry, that's the Old Testament stuff, is it? Walk with me to the New Testament. Turn to Matthew chapter 2. Because they're going to try, you just too much in the past. No, you just know the history of the past. It's a difference. You want to know what happens in the movie? Go watch the beginning of the movie. Matthew chapter 2. But when they give you that New Testament Bible and just say, here, this is all you need, you have no idea who you're fighting against. You have no idea. Matthew chapter 2 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king.
We're going to look into Herod as well. Go ahead.
Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him.
Go ahead.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
Go ahead.
And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born.
Tell me where he's going to be born. Go ahead.
And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet. And thou in Bethlehem in the land of Judea art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
So they show the prophecy showing where Christ should be born in Bethlehem. So jump down to verse 7. Go ahead.
Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared.
Right, privately because he's trying to be sneaky. But we know how it's going to play out. Verse 8, go ahead.
And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also.
So at this time, he called himself being strategic and targeted. I'm just going to deal with just that one child here, right? But let's see how it plays out. Go ahead. Let's jump down to verse 12. Verse 12, go ahead. Because the wise men, they didn't go back to Herod. Verse 12.
And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way.
That's right. Keep going.
And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
That's right. Go ahead.
And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Because the Lord still is the one operating this here. So now the Lord came in the flesh, and now they're headed into Egypt. Go ahead.
And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son.
And verse 16. Go ahead.
Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth.
Right.
Sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem.
Oh, so they're going to mock me because they aren't going to come back and tell me where he is. It's been 2 years, so I'm not going to be neat with it. I'm going to be messy. Kill all the 2-year-olds in Bethlehem and under. In other words, I bet I'd catch him if I drag a wider net. But he had fled into Egypt.
Right.
So I'm just showing what's happening here, right? That's in the 16.
Middle 16.
Go ahead, finish it out.
And in all the coast thereof.
And all the coast. Go ahead.
From 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men.
That's that. But now jump down to verse 19. Go ahead. Because even that happening is actually prophecy as well. But we're not here for that. Go ahead, give me 19.
But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life.
There it is. So they were taken care of, and then they head back home. But now, can we please turn to Great People of the Bible, page 314, please? Because like I said, I just want to match some history so we know who we're dealing with here, because something happened between the Old Testament and the New Testament that this will point out. So, Great People of the Bible, page 314, go ahead and read another portion concerning Herod the Great. Go ahead.
Herod the Great. Rome needed a shrewd and capable agent in Palestine. And in Herod the Great, they felt they had found such a man. Young, ambitious, and brutal when necessary. Herod was not a true Jew, but an Idumean.
That's why I took my time to show you all the names and titles in the front of the lesson to show one of those titles that still cover them. Idumean is a Greek way of saying Edom. Go ahead.
Whose forefathers had been forced to convert to Judaism.
So they were forced to convert to Judaism by actual Israelites. These are converts. Yeah. Go ahead.
A century before. He had first come to Rome's attention when, as a governor of Galilee, he quickly put down a minor Jewish rebellion in 47 BC. 7 years later, when civil war disrupted the country.
So he was known for fighting against Israelites that were rebelling against Rome. Go ahead.
Herod fled to Rome and persuaded the Romans to name him king of Palestine in order to restore peace.
Right. In other words, I already know how their religion is. I already know these details about certain things. Put me in charge and I'll be a benefit to them. Go ahead and you hit that part.
During his long reign, which lasted until his death in 4 BC, Herod kept an uneasy peace by dealing ruthlessly with suspected rivals and troublemakers.
Right. So I just want to show some of the people that he also killed, because it wasn't just those children. Go ahead.
He systematically killed off all living claimants to the Hasmonean kingships, including his younger brother-in-law, the high priest.
And the what?
The high priest.
So you thought Doeg the Edomite was the only one killing priests? This Edomite killed a high priest. Go ahead.
He even ordered the execution of his favorite wife, Miriam, and her mother, because he believed they were plotting against him.
That's all I need from that. We get an idea of this character, like his mindset, right? So I'm just showing that it didn't just stop with Haman. It didn't stop with Hadad. It didn't stop with Doeg. It's still going. You just need to know who they are. So now that we see this individual, let's now turn to just quickly Hosea 11:1, because something's very interesting has happened here, where it said, "Out of Egypt have I called my son." This is a very important verse. Hosea 11:1. 11:1. Go ahead, give me that verse. When you get there, go ahead and read. Because the whole time, remember, it's been Israel going back and forth with the Edomites, but God has entered the ring. He's shown up in the fight, and he has appeared in the flesh. The one that named the Israelites Israel. Go ahead and give me verse 1. Hosea 11:1. Go ahead.
When Israel was a child,
right,
then I loved him,
right, and
called my son out of Egypt.
So the one from the Godhead that's called Israel is the one that showed up in the flesh. And that's the one that our fraternal twin brother tried to kill and assassinate. But they didn't get him, but he got a lot of Israelites, but he didn't get the actual Israel. Now watch this. Let's go to Mark chapter 3. You thought they wanted to get Jesus just when he was a baby? Turn to Mark chapter 3. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Mark 3 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he said unto the man which had the withered hand, stand forth. And he said unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath day,
Right,
or to
go
do
ahead.
evil, to save life, or to kill?
Uh-huh.
But they held their peace.
But they held their peace because there is no law saying you can't do good or heal on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
And when he had looked around about on them with anger,
He looked at them with anger. Go ahead.
and being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he said unto the man, stretch forth thine hand.
Uh-huh.
And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored, whole as the other.
Uh-huh. Now, as soon as that happened, see, the Pharisees held their peace. They couldn't say nothing about that, right? But look what they did immediately after that. Go ahead.
And the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians.
Whoa. With the who?
Herodians.
They left out, and we're going to highlight the Herodians. The Herodians was like a family name that was on a certain segment of the Edomites. So they said, we're going to team up with Edom to try to kill Christ. Go ahead.
With the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him.
How they might destroy him. So let's go to Matthew 14. Because Jesus was the only one operating, someone else was operating. But we're going to see how this plays out as well. Matthew, the 14th chapter. See, it's one thing to hit prophecy. Sometimes you have to hit the history first. So when I hit the prophetic verses, it lines up now because then I know who's who, what's where, and at what time certain things need to take place. Matthew 14 and verse 1. 14 and verse 1. Go ahead.
At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus.
Now, this is a different Herod. It said Herod the Tetrarch, but in history, he's called Herod Antipas. Go ahead.
And said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.
So they thought Jesus was the reincarnation of John the Baptist, but reincarnation is not a biblical concept. Go ahead.
For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodians' sake.
See, that's why I said it was a family name. Herodias, this is a woman. So Herod, the Tetrarch, turned around and locked up John the Baptist because he was intervening on him going after some woman that he shouldn't be going after. Because remember, the Herodians were Edomites that were converts. They were converted. They knew what the law or what they say the Torah says. And this is where the problem came in. But because they claimed they were keeping the law, right? But what verse 4 say? Verse 4, go ahead.
We were in the middle of
we didn't?
3.
Okay, go ahead, finish it out.
Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife.
There it is, his brother Philip's wife. So he's trying to go after his brother's wife. That's adultery. What did John say in verse 4? Go ahead.
For John said unto him, it is not lawful for thee to have her.
So what he said in verse 4 is the reason why he got locked up. It's not lawful for you to have her. And they were aware of the law because they were converts. So what happened from there? Verse 6. Go ahead.
But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughters of the daughter of Herodias danced before them.
Hold on. Herodias, the woman he wanted to get after, had a daughter. So her daughter is going dancing before Herod. But Herodias is working this plan too. Go ahead.
Danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask.
Right. And you know, in the Old Testament, your oaths and your swearing are held against you. And see, these are converts that was always hanging around the real Jews.
Right.
So when they at the table and they hear him bumping with his gums and put an oath out there, they're going to look at him on what you going to do. Are you with it or are you faking? Go ahead.
And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, give me here John Baptist's head in a charger.
Go ahead.
And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake.
For the oath's sake, go ahead.
And them which sat with him at meat.
There it is. And them which sat with him at meat. In other words, they looking at him like, what you gonna do? You put it out there, you put your oath out there. They heard him say that. So they looking at him like, you gonna follow through with it or not? Go ahead.
He commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother.
So John the Baptist, the man that baptized Jesus in the flesh, was killed by the direction of who? Which family dynasty? Edom still. You better follow this thread, because the way that they're going to operate in these last days, I just hope you know the story. Acts chapter 12. Acts chapter 12. Jesus dies. He resurrected. He's sitting on the right hand of the Father on high, and he has set up disciples that are now apostles working on this earth, spreading forth his gospel. But remember, what did Jesus tell Peter? Number one, he told his disciples, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and beware of the leaven of Herod. That means the doctrine, the Herodians or the Edomites have a doctrine that is not in line with this book. But then on top of that, he told Peter that Satan has desired to sift you as wheat. He's trying to come at you. How is he going to come at Peter? Acts chapter 12 and verse 1. 12 and 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Now, about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church.
Now, this is a whole separate Herod. This Herod Agrippa the first. This isn't Herod Antipas. Right. This isn't Herod the Great. This is a different one from that same family dynasty. And he's like, I'm about to put my hand on the church. Go ahead.
And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
And he's the one, this same Edomite, killed James, the brother of John. And did it in front of the Jews that didn't believe. And they're like, yeah, hey, he down now. You know how you have the one that's in the crew that's not part of the group, but he's trying to do as much as he can to show he fit in with the group? Right. That's this guy. Yeah. Oh, y'all like that? Watch, I can do more. Go ahead.
And because he saw it pleased the Jews.
Y'all like that? It pleased the Jews. Go ahead.
He proceeded further to take Peter also.
I'm going to get Peter too. Watch this. So Peter was locked up. And if it wasn't for God intervening and having the angel break open the prison and get the chains off his hands, an Edomite would have killed Peter too. Go ahead.
Then were the days of unleavened bread.
Then were the days of unleavened bread. It goes in a whole separate breakdown. But I'm just trying to make sure y'all consistently see who's who in the story. So like I said, even though it says Herod in a few different places, it's not the same person. Let's go now to Acts 26. Because later on, one of the unbelieving Jews, his name was Paul, or his name was Saul, rather. Then he turned around and became known as Paul. But he started operating and actually learning the gospel and then sharing the gospel. So now that he's on the Lord's team, who do you think is going to be right there? When you switch to the right time, to the right side, to the right understanding, the right insight. Acts 26 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Then Agrippa said unto Paul, thou art permitted to speak for thyself.
Now, because he's in the judgment seat. But this is not Agrippa the first. This is Agrippa the second. He's also known as Marcus Julius Agrippa. He's the one that presided over Paul, because you always see the Edomites in some form of power, real cozy with the Romans or the Gentiles. So he said, you can speak for yourself. Go ahead. Keep going. Give me verse 2.
Then Paul stretched forth the hand and answered for himself.
Go ahead.
I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all the things whereof I am accused of the Jews. Especially because I know thee to be an expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently.
Now, you see how verse 3 showed that these were still the converts. We know that you understand the Torah because we converted and taught y'all. You're the same Edomites that were taught and converted, and I know you are an expert in these customs. So I'm fine with going in the law or the Old Testament or the prophets and explaining these things. Y'all see that? I just want to make sure that y'all see that Agrippa's an actual Edomite now and why he's answering in this manner. Now go ahead and jump down to verse 6. Go ahead.
And now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of God unto our fathers. Unto which promise our 12 tribes.
Now you see where Paul makes that distinction, though. There was a promise given to our 12 tribes. This wasn't spoken of for the converts in this specific thing.
Right.
But we're talking about Christ coming, though. Unto which promise our 12 tribes, go ahead.
Instantly serving God day and night, hope to come.
Hope to come, go ahead.
For which hope's sake, King Agrippa, I am accused of the Jews.
And the hope was Christ. And because certain Jews don't believe in Christ, I'm being accused of going in the opposite direction when the whole Old Testament points in this direction that we had been hoping for. We have been waiting on the Messiah. We've been waiting on various things to take place, but it's going to go through him. That's the hope's sake. Now that's in verse 7, right?
In the 7.
Go ahead, jump all the way down to verse 27. Verse 27, because he breaks it down. Go ahead.
King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets?
Now, do you believe the prophets, King Agrippa? Go ahead.
I know that thou believest.
I know that you believe, because he's not talking to a random stranger, but a convert. Go ahead.
Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuaded me to be a Christian.
You almost persuaded me to be a Christian. The way he was connecting the prophetic dots. It wasn't just random sayings and wasn't making sense. He was walking down prophecy. When the person should come, where they should go, what should be fulfilled, where he's going to be born. He walked down the Old Testament and he know you believe, and he said, you almost persuaded me to become a Christian. But this is a Bible understanding Christian, not just Christian in name only. Because when you have understanding of the scriptures, someone that dares touch the Old Testament, welcome, you in my sandbox now. You in my arena now. If you're saying you're going to deal with that Old Testament too, we can do New Testament, but the New Testament also points to the Old Testament. So the skill that he had, the first one that was presiding over him was still, but see, this Edomite, he actually was going to let him free because Paul walked it down so good. He was about, hey man, I don't see no problem with it. However, which Paul did it to for survival. He made a legal case that I plead unto Caesar. So he said, I would have let you go, but because you pleaded to Caesar, I got to send you to Rome. So this Edomite put him on a boat in shackles and sent him all the way to Rome. That wasn't the first time the Edomite put us on a boat, but that's another breakdown. Go ahead. That's in the 28, right?
Yes, that's in the 28.
Perfect. Let's back up real quick to Luke 21 because I have to touch on one of the prophecies that Christ spoke of. But that was, like I said, Marcus Julius Agrippa II. He was the son of King Agrippa I that killed James, the brother of John. So that's his son. Just letting y'all know where they are. Luke 21 and 23. Luke 21 and 23. Now, we touched this a little bit earlier when we went to Deuteronomy 28 because we saw that they need to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Christ coincides that with this verse, that they can't just be in a couple spots. They need to be spread all over the place. So Luke 21 and 23. 21 and 23, when you get there, go ahead and read.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
And wrath upon this people? Is that the end of that verse?
Yep.
Oh, I think 24 as well. 24 as well. I'm my bad.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So they need to be led away into all nations, right?
Yep.
Now, we don't just have just the Eastern Hemisphere. We have the Western Hemisphere. So you'll see a lot of them showing up over here in the Western Hemisphere because God said that was going to happen that way. I just want to make sure I have that ready. Now that we see that's in the verse 24, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, can you please turn to page, or got it there for you, page 87 of the last 2 million years? Because it was letting us know this is the beginning of something, I don't want to say different, I'll just say something else. Go ahead.
Faith serves the dispersion.
Faith survives the dispersion. Dispersion is a fancy way of saying us being dispersed from our land. They try to hide it under like the exile. What do you mean exile? You mean slavery? See, they don't want to say slavery because your ear might, you gonna catch that. They say exile. I don't know what that means. That means we exited from Jerusalem. Go ahead.
The crucifixion of Jesus about AD 30 did
Uh-huh.
not end Jewish resistance
It
to the
would
Roman
not
occupation.
in Jewish resistance. In about AD 30, which if y'all paid attention, we showed the actual date that Christ was crucified earlier this year. AD 30. Go ahead.
In 70, when the country was again in a state of revolt,
Right.
Jerusalem, the holy city, became the core of the resistance to the Romans.
So Jerusalem became the headquarters of the resistance. Fight the power. They were fighting the Romans, and that was the headquarters of the resistance. Go ahead.
Titus, the son of Emperor Vespasian, proceeded to lay siege to Jerusalem.
Right.
The city fell, and the inhabitants were enslaved in their thousands.
There it is. Now we got the term, right? They started with dispersion, but now we see that they were enslaved in their what?
Thousands.
Okay, go ahead.
And dispersed throughout the Mediterranean world.
Throughout the Mediterranean world, North Africa and Southern Europe as well. Go ahead.
This was the first dispersion, and worse was to follow.
You see where it says this was the first dispersion of just those. They were in captivity from even the Assyrians and Sennacherib, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome. They had a little bit of autonomy, but for the people that had that autonomy, this was the beginning of their dispersion into slavery. And it said, and worse was to follow. We know what that worse was. It started there. It didn't just start in the 1600s. It started there throughout the whole entire Mediterranean world. But we read earlier in Deuteronomy 28, they shall be removed in all the kingdoms of the earth. And we saw that they shall be going by what mode of transportation? Ships. Boat, same thing. So I'm just showing how this is all connecting. But what we're doing is we're now finding the punishment that's hitting Jacob is connecting to the signs given in the prophecies so you can correctly validate and authenticate and identify who we're dealing with. Because when you mess up who's who in the prophecies, you mess up all the prophecies. You cannot mess this up. So now we got that's the end of that, the highlighted section.
That's the end of the section.
Oh, perfect. That's all I need. Can we please turn to Psalms 83? Can we please turn to Psalms 83? 70 AD kicked off another nefarious plot. And we're going to go through that. I'm trying to take my time. I know I'm going a little fast. I'm trying to take my time so y'all see step by step by step. We saw some history at different times and different eras of the same behaviors taking place within the family fight. So now in Psalms 83, we're going to see a prophecy that tells us what they said and when they conspired against the nation of Israel. Psalms 83 and verse 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
Keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace.
Right.
And be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Right.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
That's right.
They have taken crafty counsel against
thy
people.
That means sneaky. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Because we are the hidden ones. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of what is no more in remembrance?
Israel.
I'm going to show you why that's such a big deal, because y'all saw earlier that Jacob was renamed Israel, but we know that was an adoption because the one who came in the flesh, his name was Israel because he adopted us and gave us his name. They wanted his name as if they were still the children of the birthright. That name signifies you being the child of the birthright. So they said, cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel for us is no more in remembrance. Right. Now we're Smiths, Johnsons, Lees, Thompsons, all types of names. But Israel is no more in remembrance as the surname. Because remember, nobody in the Bible from Israel had last names. Right. They all had one last name that was Israel. Because God said, I have surnamed thee. Because when you marry someone, they take on your name. But that's what happened. Now that's the end of verse 4.
That's the end of 4.
Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Right.
They are confederate against thee.
They've teamed up. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And he's in the prophecy, he starts naming out who the culprits are. The tabernacles of Edom is number 1 on the list. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
That's the uncle rather. Remember, Jacob's twin brother was Edom, but both Edom and Jacob's uncle are the Arabs. So right now, over in the land in Palestine, in Gaza, you're finding the uncle fighting one of the nephew. Ishmael fighting against Esau, or Esau fighting against Ishmael. But we're missing from that whole conversation because we took a boat ride. Go ahead.
Of Moab, the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes, the children of Hagar. Go ahead.
Jebal and Ammon and Amalek.
There go Amalek again, right? Go ahead.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah.
The children of Lot means the Moabites and the Ammonites. Those are Lot's children. In other words, there's a collection of groups of people that said, we need to stop them from remembering who they are as the name of Israel. But they can only do that unless God allowed it. Because what did God tell us in Deuteronomy chapter 32? We read it earlier. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. This is how they did it. You see how it's slowly connecting? Okay. Now that that's in verse 8, right?
That's the end of 8.
Let me also see what they said in verse 12 concerning our real estate. Verse 12.
Who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession?
Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession? Let us possess that land. Let us possess that real estate. They working in our very generation on what's called a 2-state solution. But God said, you sold my children and parted my land. Oh, there's going to be a payment for that. But now that we've read that, I need to also walk down how this looks high level. I showed y'all this earlier, right? When I showed the various names that pertain to Jacob, right? I'm just bringing this back up to show that, hey, we were called Jacob, we were called Israel, Judah, Ephraim, Jeshurun, Mount Zion, Jerusalem. But now they have done this and just said, the twin brother now says he is now known as Israel or the Israelites.
Right.
You notice they never called themselves Israelites, right? Message.
Not at all.
They wanted that one name. That's the name they really want.
Right.
So now that they have that name and they, or seemingly, even though it's not the real thing, we're seeing now where we're going to show what they did in 70 AD. Because it said they took crafty counsel, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to read from this book here. See, we like reading of the Israel of God. This book is called The Sarcophagus of an Ancient Civilization. This book here, woo! That's all I'm going to say. But we're going to read some today. So can you please read from pages 372 and 373? What we'll do is we will read. We'll just hit that yellow, hit the 2 yellow and read. Yeah, read all that. I want them to hear this. Turn his mic up. It's on you.
37 BC, the Roman Senate appointed Herod as king of the Jews.
Right, and that's the Herod the Great that we read about earlier. We'll just get another source proving that. Go ahead, that other yellow part.
This was the beginning of the Herodian dynasty.
That was the beginning of the Herodian dynasty. That's why I said the Herodians. Herod the Great was the beginning of the Herodian dynasty. So that's why they had all the different Herods that came out from them, but they were all Edomites, right? Go ahead.
Henceforth, I can't say
Idumeans. Remember the Greek way of saying Edom. The Idumeans, go ahead.
The Idumeans were reckoned as Jews, and their land was counted as one of the 11 tetrarchs of Judah.
Right. So there it is. Now they start calling themselves Jews, because Jew was just a nickname for saying Judah or Judea, because they lived in the southern province. Go ahead.
But the union between them and the Jews proved a little blessing,
In other words, it wasn't that advantageous. It wasn't that beneficial. Being union with your twin brother when he don't mean right, it's not going to benefit you. It's going to break. Go ahead.
Rather, they became an element of weakness to the Jews. And in the moment of need, the treacherous betrayed them.
Yeah, the treacherous.
Betrayed them to Rome.
Right.
By nature, they were cruel and barbarous, fierce and turbulent.
Right. So when we needed the most help, which was 70 AD during the revolt, that's when the betrayal kicked in. Because remember that I showed you they've been warring and warring and warring. It's not going to be a surprise if they do it. This I wouldn't be converted. So now all of a sudden they're going to be buddy. No, they're going to still rebel. Go ahead.
At the time, the Romans under Titus besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD.
70 AD. That's why I read out of here what happened in 70 AD. But this book is telling you what's happening inside of Jerusalem. This is telling you Titus surrounding Jerusalem and laying siege on it. This is telling you what's happening on the inside, the betrayal, the skullduggery, as they call it, inside. Go ahead.
The Idumeans, a Zealot party, early joined in the rebellion against the foe through the influence of John of Gachala. As Josephus informed us, 20,000 Idumeans were allowed access to the holy city.
Okay, 20,000 Idumeans were allowed access to Jerusalem, the holy city. Go ahead.
Only to fill the city with robbery and bloodshed.
But they end up turning on us and filling it with robbery and bloodshed. Go ahead.
They spared nobody.
Nobody. Go ahead.
The outer temple was completely covered with blood.
They covered the outer temple with Israelites' blood. Go ahead.
8,500 perished there in one day.
In one day. Go ahead.
But the rage of the Idumeans was not confined to the temple precinct.
They weren't just killing the Israelites by the temple. Go ahead.
They betook themselves to the city.
They went to the city,
and plundered every house.
And kicked in the door at every house to kill whoever they could. Go ahead.
Slew everyone they met.
But
ruthlessly they massacred the priests, even standing with their coarse feet upon their bodies.
So they would kill the priest again and then stepping on their body with their feet. Go ahead.
And cast them forth without respect. Without respectful burial,
and just throwing their body outside, like DJ Jazzy Prince being thrown out the house during Fresh Prince. They just threw their bodies out. Go ahead.
Even Ananias, the high priest,
Ananias, the high priest, go ahead,
fell a victim to their savage rage.
So they also show yet again that they even killed a high priest. Go ahead. So it wasn't just the Herod. This is after Herod the Great. They killed another high priest. Go ahead.
He was just and vulnerable man.
That's all I need from that. We good. Actually, I want that one. Yeah, that paragraph right there.
With the tragic fall of Jerusalem, the Idumeans as a nation passed off the stage of history and disappeared entirely from human sight.
After they killed all those Israelites, the whole nation of the Edomites, poof, disappeared from historical sight. What happened to cause a whole nation to disappear? Did they get raptured?
No.
The rapture ain't in the Bible. So what happened to a whole nation of people that's killing priests, high priests, women, children, and everybody? The theft of the identity of the nation of Israel. Now the people that's been warring over and over and over seemingly disappeared by changing their names. That's all it was. You don't have to find archaeological evidence. You just have to find the right names. All you have to do is find the. But see, people don't expect you to do that research. That's why there's a whole lot of back and forth about the president's wife, because people started to do research, started realizing something's not really all that right. Same thing here. So now what I'm going to do, let's go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Now, when the name was taken away and someone else took on the name, now you are officially known by bywords and proverbs, nicknames, colored, Negro, African American, Black, African American, and I'm just mentioning a few that's over here pertaining to this continent on this side of the hemisphere. There's many others throughout all the nations of the world. I'm just grabbing a handful of the sleight of hand that took place, right? So now I want to go to Romans 11. Romans 11. So that's all that took place. You had all these biblical names, and then when you fought the Romans, someone else fought you from the inside and said, I'm going to take that name because I want that name. And God's going to tell you that your brother did it to get the name of God. We're going to read that before you get out of here today. Romans 11 and verse 7. We are winding down. Romans 11 and verse 7. When you get there, go ahead and read.
What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for.
Right.
But the election hath obtained it. And the rest were blinded.
And the rest were blinded. Go ahead. That's what happened. Now people call themselves all these different names because that's part of the blinding of Israel. Go ahead, give me verse 8.
According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, until this day. Until
this day, some people still in darkness. Yeah. They starting to wake up. There's some knocks that happen at the door. But give me verse 10. Go ahead.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see.
Right.
And bow down their back.
Because what he's trying to point out is let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see. Now remember, we saw Isaac, right? Isaac was physically blind, but he had some spiritual vision.
Right.
Now today, you have people with regular vision, but they're spiritually blind. And if you are spiritually blind, you are going to do what Isaac did. Pick the wrong person. You will say the wrong person is Jacob or the wrong person is Esau. Because when you're spiritually blind, you can't discern. That's what's going on now. Because Jacob himself disguised himself as Esau, and today Esau is disguising himself as Jacob. It just switched. That's the end of that.
We're in the middle.
You said you had what verse?
We're in the middle of 10.
Go ahead, finish out 10.
And bow down their back always.
Right. In other words, now we have some harder lives because of this. But what I'm also going to point out, this right here is like a map showing Edom. But I just want to point out some things here. You see right here in the bottom left, this right here says Edom. Can y'all see that? Mm-hmm. Edom is southeast of the Dead Sea. This right here is the Dead Sea. They are southeast, and this right here says the way of Edom. But then as time went on, you don't see them here anymore. They have migrated up. They are now on the west side of the Dead Sea and a little bit north. This right here says Idumea, which is the Greek way of saying what? Edom. So I'm showing as time went on, someone getting closer and closer and closer. But you know why they were going in this direction? Because they were being pushed up by the Nabateans. The Nabateans are the Saudi Arabians that was coming out of the house of, I can't say just the house of Saul, but Arabia. Present day, we say Saudi Arabians. Nabateans are Arabs that was pushing against them and taking over their land of Petra and Bozrah and their previous land. There's Nabateans are there to this very day. So now you see Judea, Samaria, and Idumea. Just like you see Samaria, Judea, Idumea. And back here, it was just Israel and Judah. Because there was Samaria after Sennacherib had took some of the tribes out and put some other people there in their place, shall I say. So I'm just walking down some of the differences. So when I hit the next slide, it'll make sense. Now in 70 AD, where is Edom? Where is Idumea? It's gone, as you read in page 373. They have disappeared from history. It just says Samaria and Judea. And it says this is all the land that kind of pertains to them. Edom is gone. But how do you hide a nation? By changing their name. I hope I'm slowing down enough. Okay. So then, Brother Jared, then what's going on today? Today, people are still using all those nicknames that was given on Israel. But this is what I can't stand. The concept of race is not a biblical concept. Everyone says race this, race that, racism. It burns me up because as soon as I go under that construct, I will never find the biblical truth. The Bible doesn't have races. The Bible has nations and families. That's why the whole time I've been breaking it down about nations and families and not about race. The man who invented, his name is Johann Blumenbach. He was like an anthropologist. 1752, he made this up. Can you please read what the concept of race pertains to Johann Blumenbach? Go ahead.
Blumenbach explored the biodiversities of humans mainly by comparing skull anatomy and skin color. He is best known for establishing the 5-part naming system in 1795.
He just said, it's 5 races. He just made that up. Go ahead. And we still use the races to this day. Go ahead.
In his view, humans could be divided into 5 varieties. He adopted the term races referred to as Oriental, American Indian, Caucasian, Malay, and Ethiopian.
So he said, we are from we're really from one of the sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, but he said it's 5. American Indian, Malaysian, Caucasian, Oriental, and he said Ethiopian. But that's where to this very day, a lot of people are caught under this construct based off of skull anatomy and skin complexion. That's why I need to break that down so we can make sure that we open the door. Once we close this door, we can open the biblical door and it points us in the right direction. Okay. Now the next slide. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this thing called the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta is like the core document for a lot of the English way of ruling society. It was a pivotal document for the legal system. And that's why all lawyers love this document. It was made in 1215, and it was their way of rebelling against the king's authority. I think it was King John. And then they said, we are tired of this. This is them flipping tables saying, we want to change some stuff around because we are oppressed. So these Gentiles that were oppressed, they told you what things they want changed from this oppression. So go ahead and read. We're going to read stanza 10 and 11. This Magna Carta means great charter. So go ahead and just read 10 and 11. Go ahead.
If anyone who has borrowed a sum of money from Jews.
Borrow some money from who?
Jews.
But what did we read in Deuteronomy chapter 28? It said, he shall lend to thee, and you shall not lend to him. So how many of us are going around giving a whole bunch of loans to Gentiles today? But whoever this is, that we read the blessing in earlier in Genesis, what was that, 27? In regards to he shall eat of the fat of the land.
Right.
He's going to be in a position to be able to lend people money and set interest rates. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Dies before the debt has been repaid. His heir shall pay no interest on the debt for so long as he remains underage, irrespective of whom he holds his lands.
Right.
If such a debt falls into the hands of the crown, it will take nothing except the principal sum specified in the bond.
In other words, we were tired of if someone owed a debt to the Jews, they would turn around and let's say they didn't repay it back, their children will have to pay it back, but the interest will keep accruing on their children and their generations. And they're like, enough. These Jews are taking all our money, but those aren't the real Jews, though, that this is writing about. We were in captivity in 1215. We were even going through the Zanzibar, which is the East African slave trade in 1215. So who are these people that's loaning and setting interest rates? Give me number 11 as well, not verse 11.
If a man dies owing money to Jews, his wife may have her dowry and pay nothing towards the debt from it. If he leaves the children that are underage, their needs may be also be provided for on a scale appropriate to the size of his holding of land. The debt is to be paid out of the residue, reserving the service due to his feudal lords.
Right.
Debts owed to persons other than Jews are to be dealt with similarly.
So two of their main gripes was about the debts that they had with the Jews. And so they were trying to find a way where, hey, if she gets a dowry, she can still keep that and not have to, because they were taking everything. It was such a refined system that it was really oppressing. This is England where this is. So this bled into what they call English common law. And a lot of the Declaration of Independence here in America stems from statements here in this document, the Magna Carta, which the Jews was oppressing them with money, according to their own statements, not my own. That's why I love reading here. Now we're going to go to Obadiah chapter 1. And we about to rain it down. Obadiah chapter, well, it's only one chapter. But I hope y'all have some ammo to do some more homework on, to go verify, prove these things that they are so. But this is a document that shaped history. Even certain people started naming albums off because they know how important this document was. Why don't we go crack it open and read it from time to time? Obadiah, picking up at verse 1, because now we're touching prophecy now that we know who's who. Go ahead.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord God concerning Edom.
Right.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord.
Right.
And an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
Uh-huh.
Arise ye and let us raise up against her in battle.
Uh-huh. So what did the Lord got to say to Edom? Verse 2.
Behold, I have made thee small against the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
So they are small among the heathen. So it's not like they have a great population, but they're going to be greatly despised by the other nations.
Have deceived thee and prevail against thee, that they eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
So because y'all came together to try to do this, y'all think y'all can be successful? No, all they did was end up getting you prepared for a bruising. But go ahead and jump down to verse 9. Verse 9, go ahead.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
If they don't repent, that book just told you what's going to happen. Everyone, that didn't just say Amalek, though, did it? That went to the father. Everyone from the mount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter. Go ahead. That's in verse 9.
That's in the 9.
Yeah, give me 10 as well. Go ahead.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Because what you did against your brother Jacob. And we read a portion of it from history books and the Bible. Go ahead.
Shame shall cover thee. And thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces,
right,
and foreigners entered into his gates.
That's when we were dealing with the Romans. Go ahead.
And cast lots upon Jerusalem.
Right.
Even thou was as one of them.
You switched teams and jumped on their team. You were as one of them. Verse 13, go ahead.
Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
What they did in 70 AD, God called it out. You should have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Go ahead.
Yea, they should have not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance.
Laid hands on their what?
Substance.
So our books and even our pictures, someone has taken and hidden them. If I take over someone's house, I want their pictures all up all over the place. Then why was it that Peter could see a vision and say, there goes Moses and Elijah, even though Peter wasn't around in those days? Because we had pictures and images of the actual Israelites. We didn't have a picture of God, though. But someone laid hand on their substance. Go ahead.
In the day of their calamity. Neither should they have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
So when people actually survived and was getting ready to escape, they the one blocking the road like, no, we got you from here. So they were the ones really helping to do us in. Verse 21, go ahead, because I just need to see what's going to happen.
We're still in the middle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, finish it out.
Neither should they have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
Right. Oh, you can take this one too. So they was making sure we were being put out the land as slaves. Now give 21, because this is going to tell you what the end result going to be. Go ahead.
And survivors shall come up on Mount Zion.
Saviors. These are the saints. Uh-huh.
And saviors shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau.
Well, why does saviors have to go to Mount Zion to find Esau unless Esau is in Mount Zion? That's what it is. He tell you where he at.
Right.
He right there. 2 houses to the left. Red door. Blue star. Go ahead.
And the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
But the kingdom going to be the Lord's. Quickly, Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. Get y'all out of here. Isaiah 65. Because in Isaiah 65, he just tells you when they did all this, what they were trying to get their hands on. 65, I'm sorry, Isaiah 66, verse 5. 66, verse 5. My apologies. Go ahead.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word.
That's us. Go ahead.
Your brethren that hated you.
Now, which brother hates us? Edom, the twin fraternal brother. Go ahead.
That cast you out of my namesake.
That cast, didn't we see that they helped cast us out, deliver us up? Take him too. Cut them off. But it says cast you out for what?
My namesake.
My namesake. They had to get rid of you so that only he would be called Israel. Because you can't have this one and that one. So they cast you out for my name's sake. Go ahead.
Said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
When he show up, it's going to be to your benefit and to their shame. The book says shame is the promotion of fools. Congratulations, promotion day is coming. Let's go to Ezekiel 11. Ezekiel 11. That's why you have so many people starting to rename themselves Israel or give them biblical names, because the fig tree that had died and withered down, it starts to sprout and show forth leaves. He says, when you see this, summer is nigh. In other words, it's almost time for the Lord to return. Ezekiel 11 and 15. 11 and 15. Go ahead.
Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, holy, are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said.
Hold up. So the inhabitants of Jerusalem has said this to all the tribes of Israel. What did they say? Go ahead.
Get you far from the Lord.
Get out of here. Go ahead.
Unto us is this land given in possession.
Now this land belongs to us. This land is given to us for possession. We could walk that down, but we just showing who did that. The one that wanted to take the name and then take the land. Jeremiah 49. Like I said, these are the last one hitters. Jeremiah 49. And we're going to pick it up at verse 7. 49 and 7. Because people are starting to ask questions today. Finally. Hey, as long as you get it before it's too late. Jeremiah 49 and 7. Go ahead and read.
Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Right.
Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
Because what is the Lord going to do? Verse 10.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places.
So the Lord is going to make sure that they bare and exposed. He said, I have uncovered his secret places. Go ahead.
And he shall not be able to hide himself.
Hide himself under the name Israel anymore when it's time. Go ahead.
His seed is spoiled. And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Now, that's it. Isaiah 63. Let's see when he does it. Isaiah 63 and verse 1. Because the one that they kicked against the hardest over there is the one that's going to expose them and leave them wide open. Isaiah 63. And we got one more spot. Isaiah 63:1. Go ahead.
Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah?
Who's that coming from Edom? That means that I'm just leaving Edom. I have to do something there. Go ahead.
This that is glorified in his apparel,
He glories in his apparel.
traveling in the greatness of his strength.
I
that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
Then why are you covered in red? Go ahead.
And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Like you've been crushing grapes. Go ahead.
I have trodden the winepress alone.
Right.
And of the people there was none with
And
with
of
me.
the people there, the people that's going to be there when he showed up, he said, none of them are with me. Go ahead.
For I would tread them in mine anger.
Woo.
And trample them in my fury.
Right.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
All my raiment. Verse 4.
For the day of vengeance is in my heart.
Right.
And the year of my redeemed is come.
The year of the redeemed. The year where he's going to redeem Israel. Last spot. Revelation 2 and verse 9. Revelation 2 and verse 9. He said, the year of my redeemed. So they could keep masquerading, but the book says all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. All you have to do is come out the lie and acknowledge who you are and who Israel actually is. There's a pathway to salvation even for them. But it's up to them to travel down it. Revelation 2 and 9. Give me that one verse.
I know thy works.
Right.
And tribulation.
Right.
And poverty. But thou art rich.
But you are rich.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Right.
And are not. But are the synagogue of Satan.
Now we know who the them is. The them is the fraternal twin brother of Jacob and all their descendants, which are known as the Hebrew Edomites, masquerading and blaspheming, saying that they are the Jews or that they are Israel. That is the fraternal twins, the swapped identities of Isaac's sons. I thank you for your time. Oh, praise God.